Welcome back to the channel. Today, we dive into the gripping story of Judy Malinowski, a survivor whose fight for justice and the passage of Judy's Law has made a significant impact. Stay tuned as we explore her courageous journey and the ongoing efforts of her daughters to protect others. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest videos. Let's get started. This footage holds a deeply troubling secret. It exposes the true cause behind the woman's fiery incident at the Speedway gas station. Moments before, a black pickup truck speeds into the parking lot, and a man in a red sweater angrily exits the vehicle. Observe the woman in the shadows on the left as the man approaches her. They appear to be arguing before she steps back and throws a soda at him. The video continues for several minutes, eventually capturing the man pouring a liquid over her. Pay close attention to what follows. The man claims he merely leaned in to light a cigarette for her and insists it was an accident. However, note how he slowly retreats as she bursts into flames, displaying no sign of shock or fear. The grim reality is that she is not his first victim. The man has evaded capture for years, and she might be the only one who can bring him to justice. For now, her survival remains uncertain.
I got that phone call. Are you Judy Malinowski's mom? And I remember thinking, what a strange question. And they said, this was the hospital and we have your daughter, that I should come now.
On August 2nd, 2015 at 5:08 p.m., 31-year-old Judy Malinowski was at a Speedway gas station in Columbus, Ohio, with her then-boyfriend, Michael Slager. Judy was doused in gasoline and set ablaze. Within minutes, she was rushed to the Ohio University Wexner Medical Center, where she fell into a coma.
I've seen plenty of burns to her degree. I can't say I've seen many that have survived.
Judy was my firstborn. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the happiest time of my life. And she was just my best friend.
Judy's mother is unaware of the full extent of her daughter's condition, only that she was severely burned and required life support. Upon arriving at the hospital, she is escorted to the trauma bay by a nurse. However, as they navigate to Judy's bed, Bonnie accidentally takes a wrong turn.
I went past Michael's room. I went in there and I was like, Michael, where is Judy? I'll never forget it. He looked at me and he said, it was an accident, it was an accident.
Bonnie can't comprehend why police officers are surrounding Michael's bed. Just as she's about to ask, an officer ushers her out of the room. When she finally reaches Judy's side, nothing can brace her for the state her daughter is in.
All I can remember is I just started screaming, tell me there's hope, tell me there's hope, tell me there's hope. And they wouldn't tell me there was hope. They wouldn't say anything.
31-year-old Judy Malinowski has suffered burns covering over 80% of her body, leaving her unrecognizable.
We have an equation which is based on the patient's age and percent burn. In Judy's case, she was 31 and approximately 80% burned, so that made her like 110% mortality.
As Judy lies in a coma, clinging to life, Michael Slager sits nearby on a bench with burns on his hands. His account to the police raises doubts about the true events. According to Michael, Judy had accidentally spilled gasoline on herself while filling the truck, and he tried to light a cigarette for her, which is when she ignited. His version of events suggests it was an accident, and without Judy's perspective, Michael seems to the investigators to be innocent.
We were concerned with Judy passing and us not getting anything on the record. I wanted Judy's voice to be heard as quickly as possible. Doctors and nurses are looking at you like, do you want to bring this person out of sedation?
Judy, can you hear me?
At the request of the investigators, Judy is awakened from her artificial coma, which will subject her to pain once more.
Are you hurting right now? All right. Would you mind if someone asked you a couple questions about what happened? Stay calm, Jude. Stay calm, baby.
I remember leaning in to talk to her. I don't even know if she can hear me.
Judy, this is Dr. Can you hear me? Yeah. Judy, did you spill gas on yourself? No. Did Mike spill gas on you? Yes. Yes? Okay.
Judy nods twice, indicating that she can hear and comprehend those around her. With this confirmation, the police now have the information necessary to advance their investigation.
The police said that they were going to arrest Michael. I didn't understand.
So what, am I under arrest or something?
Right now, yeah, you are under arrest.
What am I being charged with?
You're going to be charged with felonious assault and aggravated arson.
What Michael Slager is about to discover is that the police have obtained crucial evidence. The entire incident was captured by a nearby ATM camera, and the investigators have reviewed the footage.
Speak directly to Mike, okay? So we saw exactly what happened. We saw you pour gasoline over the top of her head. She stumbles to the ground. You lean over and light her on fire. We saw what happened. We know what happened.
That's not the way it looks. We're arguing. She threw pop on my face, and then we was going back and forth with it. And she come in and hit my face, and I said, "Oh, we're here. You want to ruin my stuff?" Well, I said, "Here, boom, I'm gonna ruin your clothes." It wasn't to start her on fire or nothing. You know what I mean? It was just to ruin her clothes.
Right, yeah.
So we knew right away that he had lied to us.
He had made several statements about how the gasoline got on Judy. And then he developed from there. Okay, I panicked, I lied about that, I shouldn't have. But she took her sweatshirt off, and it didn't even occur to me that there would still be gas there.
Here's my attorney.
In this case, where I thought that there was some doubt, was to whether he knowingly caused serious physical harm.
But I still have trouble understanding that someone could do that to another human being.
While Michael is assisted by his attorney, doctors are working tirelessly to save Judy. Typically, burn victims with injuries like hers don't survive beyond a few days. But month after month, Judy clings to life, enduring numerous surgeries while remaining unconscious. Her mother is left in uncertainty, unsure if Judy will ever awaken. According to her mother, Judy always dreamed of a simple life, having 2 children and sharing a home with a loving husband. At 21, Judy became a mother, but she was still waiting for that loving partner to complete her family.
When I was a little kid, I would look at my mom, and I just want to grow up and be like her.
People can just say, like, I love you, not always mean it. But for my mom, like, I always knew that she, like, actually loved me.
We were playing the delay game. It sounds terrible, but we were basically waiting for Judy to die so that we could charge Mr. Slager with the homicide. And we got a call one day that she was awake.
Defying the odds, Judy wakes up from her coma, but she is confused and terrified, with no recollection of what happened after the fire.
I'm going to start by asking you your name.
Judy Malinowski.
Do you know how many surgeries you've had?
Over 50.
And you're aware that you have coded 7 times, correct?
Yes.
You understand the prognosis is not good, correct?
No.
But you're fighting against it, right?
Yes.
It had to be explained to her that Mr. Slager was in jail. I remember her being emotional about that. She actually felt bad for Mike at that point.
Though Judy is worried about Michael, she is also deeply afraid of what he might be capable of. Unbeknownst to her, Michael has shown no remorse or concern for her well-being. Just 4 months prior, in April 2015, he was declaring his love for her.
Mike sent me a message on Facebook. Said that he had always had feelings for me and that he loved me.
I was like, he looks like bad news, Judy. She said, Mom, you can't judge a book by their cover. And I thought, okay, back off, Bonnie.
Although Judy met Michael through a group of friends, she had no true understanding of who he really was.
His theft, domestic violence, menacing, aggravated menacing, making a false police report, domestic violence, aggravated menacing, assault, aggravated menacing, domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, endangering children, domestic violence, endangering children, rape, which was, I think, pled down to a sexual battery.
So he began to, I would say, dote her, like just messaging her and just everything I guess a girl wants to read, especially, you know, where Judy was in her life.
Did you have a diagnosis and a surgical procedure when you were 27 years old?
Yes, ovarian cancer.
Okay, thank you. And you had some complications as a result of that surgery, correct?
Yes. I was placed on very strong painkillers. I got addicted to them.
And she had told me, Mom, I'm getting addicted to this pain medicine. And I said, Judy, it's fine. Just take them as the doctor prescribes them. I realized that she was a binge user, and she would go and use and self-medicate whatever she needed.
In the months following her surgery, Judy begins to struggle with addiction. Realizing that her behavior is negatively affecting her children, she loses trust in her ability to care for them. Consequently, she sends her 2 daughters to live with their grandmother, Bonnie, while she checks into a rehab facility called Parkside. Determined to recover for her daughter's sake, Judy soon regains her sobriety.
And she was going to meetings, like 3, 4, 5 meetings a week. They got her on the right track, and now she's living with the girls.
She was doing the best she had ever done. Everything went downhill when Michael came into the picture.
That's when drugs and all that came into play. He brought her drugs, she relapsed, so he had complete control over her.
I don't think that Michael ever did drugs. He definitely preyed on women that had addiction problems.
In the ensuing months, Judy learns the harsh reality of Michael Slager's true nature as he begins to physically abuse her. Despite her efforts to leave and escape, Michael consistently finds ways to pull her back.
Judy had called me when he had choked her before, and I can remember her being so scared of him.
She hid in hotels, left her own home.
Throughout the relationship, Judy repeatedly calls the police, reporting abuse by her boyfriend. Unbeknownst to her, Michael is also calling the authorities each time an incident occurs, portraying himself as a concerned boyfriend and covering up his own actions.
He knows what he's doing. He's intelligent, he's calculating. Near the end of May of 2015, I had a lengthy conversation with Judy. She flat out said that if she left him or he found out about this conversation, that he would kill her. And then the call disconnected after that.
In the spring of 2016, Judy wakes up in the hospital for the first time since the attack. Her daughters and siblings are about to visit her, fully aware of the shock that awaits them. And yet,
when I walked in, I definitely was like, that's not my mom. You just don't believe that that's who they're telling you it is.
There was surgery was in the hospital bed. After surgery said, it was gonna be alright. And when she asked me for a hug, I said, no, you're hurt. I didn't want her to get hurt.
Though Bonnie is overjoyed that her daughter has finally awakened, Judy's struggle is far from over. By December 2016, the trial begins while Judy is still alive, with Michael facing charges of aggravated arson and felonious assault. He maintains that it was all an accident, but Judy knows there is more to the story. However, the defense believes Judy's condition will prevent her from testifying, leading them to enter a plea of not guilty. Without her testimony, Michael could evade justice. Fortunately, Judy's condition begins to improve.
She wanted to tell her story think she wanted somebody to finally listen to her.
This may be Judy's only opportunity to testify. If she survives, Michael could evade the murder trial. However, if she dies, Michael will face a murder charge, with her testimony serving as evidence against him. Then, something unexpected occurs.
And your previously entered not guilty plea and pleading a no contest plea in this matter.
Correct, Your Honor.
Slager changed his plea from not guilty to no contest. And that way he avoided a trial and she was not able to testify.
He silenced her again. There's nothing we could do. What are you going to do?
The Gahanna woman doused with gasoline and set on fire. She will never get the chance to testify against her ex in court.
And the judge sentenced him to 11 years in jail.
The maximum sentence Michael could receive for dousing her in gasoline and lighting her on fire was 11 years, which is very similar to the penalty you would receive for lighting a car on fire.
Judy has a life sentence, and her children have a life sentence, and with domestic violence, it's ugly, it's cruel.
Mrs. Bose was correct when she said this girl has a life sentence. And you've done it and you haven't been sorry. You've done all the things that really show what a despicable individual you are. You really do seem like one of those people that have no soul, and you need to be incarcerated. That's all I have to say. Take him out.
I can't. It's not fair. It's so hard when he just isn't even remorseful for anything. I don't mean to break down. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to stay strong, but it's just so hard.
Over a year has passed since the attack, and Judy continues to fight for her survival each day. The sentencing of Michael shocks her, as she feels she hasn't received the justice she deserves. Although her own time may be limited, the one thing that sustains her is her love for her daughters.
There was this part of her that wanted to make it and to live, to fight for every other woman that had been through something like that. And she was willing to do whatever she needed to do to help change the law.
Judy's law would increase the maximum sentence for intentionally disfiguring someone by up to 20 years. It's named after Judy Malinowski, who is still fighting to stay alive after being set on fire a year and a half ago.
The law would not be retroactive, meaning it won't have any impact on her case. Still, Judy continues to fight for other survivors of domestic violence.
Doctors say they really have no medical explanation as to how she is still alive, but Judy's mom, Bonnie Bose, says she believes that Judy is fighting to see Judy's law through to the very end.
All Judy wanted to do was help people. She fought so hard to help people and for justice.
This was a miracle that she survived that with her spirit intact, her will to want to help other people intact. I just think her body was giving out before her spirit.
As Judy's condition worsens, it becomes evident that she will likely pass away soon. Bedridden, Judy's doctors now concentrate on minimizing her pain. Throughout this ordeal, her mother, Bonnie, has stayed by her side, and letting go of her child will be the most difficult challenge she has faced.
Although they don't give her much time, even if God takes her, she'll always be here.
As the possibility of a murder trial grows increasingly likely, prosecutors approach Judy and her mother, Bonnie, with a proposal.
And that's when they approached Judy about testifying to her own homicide. It was a long shot because it had never been done. Nobody had ever testified to their own homicide in the United States.
The only condition is that for Judy to regain her full mental faculties, she would need to be taken off her pain medication.
It hurts so bad. I don't want to do it. I have to.
As a mother, you know your child, where was her limitation? Could she do this, even though her intentions were good?
Judy Malinowski will be allowed to testify about her own death in the trial of her accused killer.
The case that's drawn national attention.
This would be the first time that a victim was allowed to testify from the grave in a murder case.
She said, "Mom, I know I haven't endured this much pain in vain."
Tell me your name and then you're ready to testify.
Hi, my name is Judy Malinowski, and I'm ready to testify on Thursday.
All right.
I think Judy expressed being tired of fighting and in pain. But she would not say to me, "Mom, I want to give up. I want to stop," because she knew what that would do to me.
After nearly 60 surgeries and 2 years in the hospital, Judy has been transferred to a care facility and is no longer receiving medical treatment.
Judy Malinowski's mom, Bonnie Bose, told me in an interview Tuesday her daughter's body can't take much more.
So they asked me to sign these papers, and I said, "No, I will not sign these hospice papers." She said, "Mom, I will." And she put an X. And I know Judy, because Judy would have normally tried to do a J, and she just put an X and handed it back. I said, "Okay, Judy, I'll hold your hand until Jesus takes the other."
Judy Malinowski passed away on June 27, 2017, after surviving for nearly 700 days. She leaves behind her 2 young daughters, her siblings, and her mother.
Today, I lost someone very important to me, my sister Judy, and she was my favorite sister for a very long time.
Well, a new chapter in one family's long fight for justice.
LA prosecutor Ron O'Brien calls this case unprecedented. Slager is now charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated murder.
He could get the death penalty if he is found guilty.
As Michael Slager prepares for his trial, he has no intention of pleading guilty this time. His lawyers are working diligently to exclude Judy's testimony from the proceedings, aiming once more to silence her.
We'll fight like heck to keep that testimony of the victim excluded from any jury trial.
Barney is livid. If Judy's deposition is excluded from the trial, all the suffering she endured to provide her testimony will have been in vain.
She went to her grave thinking that she did justice, and she told her story.
Now, Michael's attorney argues that the entire procedure is unconstitutional. At this juncture, only a judge can determine whether Judy's testimony will be allowed.
A criminal defendant's right to confrontation is of paramount importance. But the defendant in this case did have an opportunity to confront the accuser.
Thank you, God.
A potential historic decision.
Today's judge's ruling makes her the state's first murder victim to testify at her killer's trial.
New hope for Judy Malinowski's family that not only justice will be served in her death, but that her own voice will be heard in court.
On July 5th, 2018, the courtroom gets ready to view Judy Miller's 3-hour testimony. Judy's mother, Bonnie, and her daughters, Kaitlyn and Madison, are present. No one has seen her deposition, as it was filmed in private, and they are all awaiting the moment Judy will share her story.
Could you please raise your right hand to the extent that you possibly can? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this deposition will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God or under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you.
Now, Sunday, August 2nd, 2015. Do you recall that day?
August 2nd, 2015, yes, I do.
So when you were with Mr. Slager, you indicated that the two of you stopped at Speedway. What did you stop there for?
Get cigarettes. We were arguing back and forth. Either one of us were very happy with each other.
While he went inside, you got out of the truck and went behind that speedway. What happened as you stood behind that speedway?
Mike came in a matter of no time at all around in his truck. He saw me and immediately slammed the truck in the park, got out, demanded that I got into the truck with him, called me all sorts of names. We argued for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then I threw my pop on him.
You threw a pop on him?
Yes. He was extremely upset. He ran around to the other side of his truck, and he got his tons of gasoline that he had kept in the back of his truck. He ran around to me and started pouring gasoline, started up my head and worked his way down. Some got in my throat as he did that.
What's his demeanor as he's pouring the gasoline on
you? Evil, just completely evil. He's not responding to any of my cries for help. Like, you want to throw a pop on me? See what I'll do to you, bitch. And how do you like this? I looked at him and he pulled a lighter out of his pocket and he started walking towards me. And I just remember crying and begging for help. And he let me on fire, and the look in his eyes his eyes went black, literally. I thought for sure I was dying. I just prayed to Jesus to please forgive me for my sins and to take care of my children. And
did you at any time produce a cigarette and ask for a light?
No.
Okay. A matter of fact, did you have any cigarettes on you?
No.
Judy has shared her side of the story, but her struggle is far from over. The defense will now cross-examine her, striving to cast doubt on her reliability by delving into her past, highlighting her addiction, and questioning her judgment. Despite their efforts, Judy remains resolute, pushing back as best she can. However, as time goes on, she grows increasingly weak.
Tell us what you were wearing that morning of August the 2nd.
I don't remember.
You remember getting dressed that morning?
No, I don't. I don't remember a lot of things, but I wish I.
It'd be fair to say that the trauma you've suffered has affected your memory?
Yes.
Say that it has affected your ability to recall events accurately.
I'm trying to rephrase that.
Do you agree that because of the trauma that you have suffered, your ability to recall events accurately has been compromised?
My ability to what?
Recall events. Remember things.
I can recall the events, but the many details of them is what's hard for me to recall. You have to understand, on August 2nd, I was set on fire, thrown on the ground, and burnt to 95% of my body.
I understand. I appreciate that. Man, I just remember walking out thinking, that was awful. That was horrible. I didn't want to do it. I felt bad for her from day one. I mean, I absolutely felt bad for her.
3 hours of questioning. I couldn't interrupt. I couldn't knock on the door and see if she was okay. And when I went in there, she just grabbed me as best she could. And her entire burned body just shook.
The question persists. Will Judy's testimony be sufficient to secure justice for her? Both the prosecutors and her family are advocating for the death penalty. Michael has demonstrated no remorse and has shown a blatant disregard for their loved one, focusing solely on his own defense. Before the trial concludes, the court will hear one final clip of Judy's testimony, which could be pivotal in determining Michael's sentence.
Judy, I would just like you to state here, if you were to die from your injuries and Mr. Slager were to be convicted of having done that, I want you to tell a future judge what you want to see happen to Mr. Slager.
I would like to see him charged with murder and do a life sentence. I think that he deserves that.
She didn't believe in the death penalty. And while I very much think Michael Slager deserved to die for what he did, I think she had the right to tell the judge what penalty she wanted.
Judy chose not to seek vengeance. Despite everything she endured, she demonstrated to everyone that she is nothing like Michael. She fought for her beliefs with unwavering resolve until her final breath.
Sir, what's your plea to one count of aggravated murder without the capital specification?
Guilty.
You understand that it is a complete admission of guilt in this case?
Yes, sir.
You will spend the rest of your natural life incarcerated.
Malinowski gets her wish. Slager avoids the death penalty, but will go to prison for life.
I'm so proud of her, and I know one day I'll see her.
Judy Malinowski fought until the very end to pursue justice, not only for herself, but also for every other victim. She has made her mother proud and inspired her own daughters with her courage and determination.
My mom taught me that you could stand up to anybody.
An emotional day at the State House where two young girls say they will fight to carry on their mother's legacy.
Judy's daughters, Kaitlyn and Madison, are carrying on their mother's fight, committed to doing everything they can to enact Judy's law.
A brave young girl stood up for her mother. Kaitlyn Malinowski testified before a Senate committee.
Hello, Mr. Chairman and Senate Committee. My name is Kaitlyn Malinowski. I am Judy's daughter. Please pass my mom's law, because together we can prevent this from happening to other families.
If the bill passes, her memory will live on through Judy's law.
We know that our mommy did not suffer in vain.
Extending the sentence by 6 years for cases like Judy's where an accelerant like gas is used.
I think it's the first step towards what her legacy should and will be.
Counsel, prepare, proceed to vote.
Well, today, every representative said yes.
With the law passed in their mother's name, Kaitlyn and Madison are now finding new ways to protect other survivors of domestic violence.
She was really brave. I admire her strength, and I definitely hope that that strength lives on through me.
Thank you for watching. Judy Malinowski's courageous journey has not only shed light on the struggles faced by domestic violence survivors, but has also sparked significant change through Judy's law. Her daughters, Kaitlyn and Madison, continue to honor her legacy by finding innovative ways to support and protect others in similar situations. If you found Judy's story powerful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on true crime and advocacy. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know how you think we can further support domestic violence survivors. Stay tuned for our next video, and remember, every story matters. Together, we can make a difference.